So here we go. After the Vignesh Puthur story, which clearly has taken India by storm, and such a heartwarming, beautiful story tells you why the IPL is what it is, why sport still remains at the core of this multi billion dollar brand, and why, despite it being a ruthless business proposition, it still has its heart in the right place. Today, we move to a different battle, a battle where Rishabh Pant takes center stage. You have seen Dhruv Jurel score. You have seen Sanju Samson score. You have seen Ishan Kishan score. Can it now be Rishabh Pant's time? There is also the KL Rahul factor in all of this. It is Delhi Capitals versus the Lucknow Super Giants this evening. The subtext, the wicket keeping battle for the Indian white ball team is heating up like anything. Joining me, Shomik Chakraborty, Bharat Ramraj, and of course Gargi Raut here in the studio. Shubhayan will also join, so will Rohit. But let me start with you, Bharat, today. Brilliant story. Brilliant story from Vignesh Puthur. That's what makes the IPL, as I said. Shubhayan joins us as well, Bharat. But it is Rishabh Pant time this evening. Your first thoughts. Bowling depleted, yes, but that middle order should give Pant a lot of satisfaction. Bharat Ramraj.
Yes, I guess the thing with the LSG is their pace attack. Most of them are injured. It almost feels like LSG need a kind of insurance policy with all these fast bowlers getting injured all the time. That is how it uh, feels. Yeah, but they picked a slew of fast bowlers or basically injury prone, but still they have a decent pace attack. Someone like Shamar Joseph is young, is raw, but he has some good pace. I think they will struggle a little bit today because of all those injuries. I would maybe give DC a little bit of upper hand here, but Rishabh Pant is someone who's batting at the top of the order, so that at least in the top three is set to bat. So that should help him to if he wants to get back into the setup because is someone who I think likes to play in the power play because with a field up he can play a few more shots. So maybe that will help Rishabh Pant to come good, get back to some form and score some runs.
Shubhayan, is KL Rahul playing today? A lot of people are asking what is the story there because there is quite a bit of mystery if he's playing, not playing, because clearly there is a lot of uncertainty around that. And secondly, the same question for you, Rishabh Pant, 27 crores, highest money, movement, from Delhi to Lucknow Super Giants, new start, set it up.
For KL Rahul, even Akshar Patel, the Delhi Capitals captain, don't know whether he is available or not. So yesterday, when he was asked about this question or in the press conference, he said, "Even I don't know about his availability. So we'll have to wait till the toss to know whether KL Rahul is playing or not." But at the same time, Visakhapatnam is a very interesting venue. LSG, DC have been a very tightly fought contest in the recent times. Last year, I think, if I'm not wrong, DC did a league double over LSG. And 3-2 is the head-to-head encounter, head-to-head ratio between LSG, with LSG winning 3 out of their 5 matches. So it's a pretty evenly fought contest. It has been a pretty evenly fought contest, but for Delhi Capitals, they have a chance to with the depleted Lucknow Super Giants pace attack. I think they have a chance to score big. And if you remember the last year's match against KKR in Vizag, KKR had scored 272 runs here. So it's a high scoring venue. Yes, the ball grips a bit in Vizag, but it's a high scoring venue. So DC with their batting unit, they have a few good players. Even if KL Rahul is not playing, they have a Jake Fraser McGurk, they have a Faf du Plessis, they have an Abhishek Porel attacking guys in that batting order. They can if they can get going, then DC can pile misery on Lucknow Super Giants.
Just a point, with a small point
Yeah, Bharat.
for
Yeah.
Visakhapatnam. I just saw the ground because somewhere it's closer to sea. Occasionally, what I've seen is maybe it's because of the tides or whatever it is. Upfront, you could get a little bit of swing as well. That could be a factor. Yeah, depending on the tides. occasionally you see a little bit of swing up front.
Shomik, before I go to Rohit, who's joining us from Chennai, uh, beautiful videos from Rohit on Vignesh Puthur. It's on both our platforms, English and Hindi. And watch that story, read that story. You will feel good about the sport. Before I go to Rohit and Gargi, Shomik, the way Shubhayan set it up, he said Abhishek Porel, Jake Fraser Magak, Faf du Plessis. And on the other side, Mitchell Marsh, Aiden Markram, David Miller, Rishabh Pant, and Nicholas Pooran. So is it now a battle between two super batting heavy sides? I mean, Delhi has better bowling because Lucknow, because of injuries. But is it ultimately going to be this batting fight between Delhi and Lucknow?
See, I think Lucknow in this game have a bit of a conundrum in the sense that if they want to play Aiden Markram at the top, they cannot play Shamat Joseph because only foreigners are allowed. So from that point of view, maybe they will have to settle for someone like Yuvraj Chaudhary as an opener. Because if they want to have raw pace in their ranks, they will have to play Shamat Joseph. So that is one conundrum they have. But going beyond the batting might of the two teams, I would rather like to focus on a bigger picture, which is Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul. Forget what happened, the backstory or anything. This is very important for them. See, either KL Rahul or Rishabh Pant, their careers won't be defined by their exploits in the IPL. They are India players, and their careers should be defined by what they do in international cricket. So when we see one player like Rishabh Pant, who is a white ball discard as far as international cricket is concerned, and then we see KL Rahul, who is a T20I discard. So it is their time. This is their opportunity to make a statement, and that makes the entire thing very fascinating. I don't know whether K. Rahul will play in this game or not, but the way Ishan, Kishan, Sanju Samson, these new age players are batting, can Rishabh Pant match that in T20 cricket? That is his challenge. Can KL Rahul up the ante? Can KL Rahul up the ante and go berserk in T20 cricket? That's his challenge. So this bigger picture, I think, presents a more fascinating story.
आई एग्री विद यू रोहित क्या क्या ये एक सब टेक्स्ट बन रहा है इस आईपीएल में हम ऋषभ पंत को देखेंगे कल ध्रुव जुरेल को अगर आप देखो ईशान किशन को देखो संजू सैमसन को देखो मैं आज पार्थिव पटेल के साथ एक लंबा इंटरव्यू कर रहा था उसमें पार्थिव पटेल ने भी यही जिक्र किया मैं हम लोग एक दिन में वो इंटरव्यू चला देंगे दैट इंडियन विकेट कीपिंग इज बिकमिंग अ स्टोरी इन इटसेल्फ मल्टीपल यंग बैटर्स एंड हिटिंग फ्रॉम बॉल वन all of these chaps, as Shomik said, can Rahul up his ante? Can Rishabh Pant match them? Is that the larger story you are interested in, Rohit? And also set it up for me. Is it the Lucknow batting that has to now sort of double do because of the bowling injuries and other issues? Rohit Juglan.
I think Burela, it's also about the wicket keepers plus the openers also. You know, कल आपने ऋतुराज गायकवाड़ को देखा. You know, वो पिछले कुछ समय से T20 scheme of things से बाहर है, doing so well. You know, before that in Zimbabwe, he was the second highest run scorer. Before that also, he scored a lot of runs in T20 cricket. But if you see, you know, him being not part of the T20 cricket in the Bangladesh series because he was playing the Irani Cup at that point of time. And after that, he was again chosen for the India A versus the Australia series. And he missed the South Africa series for that. तो suddenly आप देख रहे हो कि ऋतुराज गायकवाड़ भी scheme of things से बाहर हो गए. उन्होंने भी runs लगा दिए. शुभमन गिल का भी आना बाकी है क्योंकि वो हाईएस्ट रन स्कोरर थे आपके जिम्बाब्वे सीरीज के और उसके बाद श्रीलंका सीरीज में भी उन्होंने कंट्रीब्यूट किया दोनों फॉर्मेट्स के वाइस कैप्टन है क्या आप उनको बाहर कर दोगे तो और इनके साथ साथ ये चार नाम ईशान किशन संजू सैमसन अभिषेक शर्मा एंड देन ऋतुराज गायकवाड़ यशस्वी जायसवाल ये 6 ओपनर्स हो चुके हैं इन 6 ओपनर्स पे आपको भी पता है नेक्स्ट T20 वर्ल्ड कप से पहले आईपीएल नहीं होगा ये आईपीएल तय करेगा कि आपके कौन से वो 2-3 नाम होंगे जिनको आप जस्ट आफ्टर आईपीएल इंग्लैंड सीरीज है इंग्लैंड सीरीज के बाद फिर आपको एशिया कप खेलना है एशिया कप T20 फॉर्मेट होगा वहां पर आप उन्हीं 2-3 लोगों को लेकर जाओगे जो इस आईपीएल में अपनी छाप छोड़ देंगे सो बीट अबाउट द विकेट कीपर्स और अबाउट द ओपनर्स ये दोनों है क्योंकि आपका कोई भी ऑलमोस्ट ध्रुव जुरैल को अगर आप छोड़ दो तो आपके सारे विकेट कीपर जो है वो यू नो टॉप ऑर्डर में ही आपको देखने को मिलने वाले हैं मैं आज ये देखना चाहता हूं कि क्या ऋषभ पंत भी ओपन के लिए ऑडिशन करते हैं, क्योंकि उन्होंने कई बार T20 वर्ल्ड कप 2022 में जब खत्म हुआ था, ही सेड इन एन इंटरव्यू टू हर्षा भोगले दैट आई आल्सो वांट टू ओपन द इनिंग्स, और उन्होंने ओपन किया भी हुआ है। शायद वो 50 ओवर फॉर्मेट था वेस्ट इंडीज में, और वो कहते भी आए हैं। सो क्या उनके पास एक अपॉर्चुनिटी भी है, क्योंकि जैसा अभी शमिकदा ने कहा, युवराज का नाम लिया, इनके पास और भी ऑप्शंस हैं। अगर आप आर्यन जुएल को देखोगे, उन्होंने ओपन कर रखा है। हिम्मत सिंह को देखोगे, वो भी टॉप ऑर्डर में खेलते हैं, 1 2 3 थर्ड नंबर 3 खेलते हैं हिम्मत सिंह। तो अगर आप ऑप्शंस उनके पास हैं, युवराज भी अच्छा करते हैं, वो उत्तराखंड से खेलते हैं, तो उनके पास ऑप्शंस हैं ओपन कराने के लिए। एडन मार्करम और मिच मार्श को आप साथ में नहीं लेके जा सकते,
मैथ्यू ब्रिस्के भी है,
एंड्रू ब्रिस्के भी है, वो भी एक और नाम है उनके पास।
मैथ्यू
तो फॉरेन उनके पास ओपनर्स काफी सारे हैं, बट फैक्टर ये है कि अगर ऋषभ पंत खुद को एज एन ओपनर कर दे, और बीच में उनके पास एक सेटल मिडिल ऑर्डर है जिसपे दो कमाल के प्लेयर्स हैं उनके पास, डेविड मिलर और निकोलस पूरन। निकोलस पूरन वन ऑफ द बेस्ट, किसी भी जगह पर आप खिला लो, किसी भी पेस अटैक डाल दो, स्पिन अटैक डाल दो, अगर अपने दिन पर है तो उससे बेस्ट इस आईपीएल में कोई प्लेयर नहीं है। अगर उसका दिन है तो फिर इस आईपीएल में आप भूल जाइए कि आप किसी और को याद कर पाएंगे फिर। बट इट्स ऑल अबाउट कि ऋषभ पंत खुद को किस जगह पर देख रहे हैं। सो एक चीज वो है, बॉलिंग मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि लखनऊ के साथ क्या होता है, बॉलिंग को लेकर हमेशा उनके साथ कोई ऐसा बड़ा नाम नहीं जुड़ा है, मतलब कि यार ये बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर है। यस, मार्कवुड था, अपनी पेस के लिए जाना जाता है, बट अगर आप पिछले सीजन्स भी देखो और युद्धवीर सिंह चरक देखो या फिर मोहसिन खान देखो, वो लोग बॉलर्स ऐसे खिलाड़ी लेते हैं जो बहुत बड़े नाम नहीं है, लेकिन सडनली आप देखते हो इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट कर देते हैं। इस वक्त पर भी मुझे यही लग रहा है, जैसे एक प्रिंस यादव करके उनके पास प्लेयर है, अगेन बहुत फास्ट बॉलिंग करता है, अच्छी बॉलिंग करता है, क्लोज टू बॉडी मारता है, अटैक करता है। अब मेरे को वो देखना है कि क्या वो लोग एग्जीक्यूट कर पाते हैं। सो फॉर दिस गेम आई थिंक काफी ज्यादा इस चीज को लेकर के बात हो रही है कि लखनऊ के पास बॉलिंग अटैक नहीं है। लखनऊ का जो अगला गेम है वो सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद के अगेंस्ट है, उसमें मुझे डर जरूर लग रहा है। 350 400 पार भी चली जाएगी उस समय सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद। बट फॉर दिस गेम आई थिंक बहुत ज्यादा कमजोर नहीं है। शमार जोसेफ होंगे, राज्यवर्धन हंगरकेकर एक अच्छा लड़का है, और एमएस ने जब उसको पहला गेम दिया था जीटी के अगेंस्ट, उसने 2 या 3 विकेट भी लिए थे। तो सीएसके के लिए खेला हुआ है, लेकिन फिर एक पब्लिक इवेंट में एमएस कहना चाहते थे, नहीं कहना चाहते थे, बट इनडायरेक्टली उन्होंने बोल दिया, और वो चीज एक शायद जुड़ गई राज के नाम के साथ कि नो बॉल्स ज्यादा डालता है। तो वो जो नो बॉल वाला फैक्टर है ना, कि थोड़ा इनडिसिप्लिन है। अगर आप देखोगे वाइड्स और नो, एक समय पे अर्शदीप के साथ भी ये जुड़ गया था ओडीआई क्रिकेट में कि वाइड्स और एक्स्ट्रास बहुत ज्यादा डालता है। उसके बाद से राज को कोई गेम नहीं मिला, बट उसने स्टार्ट बहुत अच्छा किया था। उसका अंडर 19 वर्ल्ड कप बहुत अच्छा गया था, जो यश धुल की कप्तानी में इंडिया जीता था। सो वहां से लेकर यहां तक, और जैक ने उसके साथ बहुत काम किया है। अभी आप अगर ये प्रैक्टिस आपने देखे हो, प्रैक्टिस गेम्स देखे हो, प्रैक्टिस सीजन देखे हो, तो राज्यवर्धन हंगरकेकर के साथ जैक ने बहुत काम किया हुआ है। तो राज वहां पर है, शमार वहां पर है, शार्दुल ठाकुर ऑलरेडी आ चुका है, न्यू बॉल के साथ शेयर करेंगे, और प्लस फिर जो इम्पैक्ट सब है वो यूज कर सकते हैं वो लोग। सो आई थिंक उनके पास ऐसे बॉलर्स रहे हैं पास्ट में भी जो जिनका नाम बहुत नहीं है, बट वो काम में जबरदस्त है। तो मेरे हिसाब से आई एम लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड टू दिस न्यू एलएसजी पेस अटैक।
Acha points, and I take this opener point. I mean, Shomik brought in the wicket keeping thing, and then Rohit brought in the opening thing, and yes, I mean the point about bowlers. The one name that we haven't discussed, I mean, for who again all of a sudden it has opened up, and he has done extremely well in domestic cricket. All of us collectively here, all of us love him. I had a chat with him, and each one of us, whatever happens with the match is a different matter. All of us want this guy to do well, Shardul Thakur. All of a sudden, the door opened up for Shardul Thakur. He's part of that squad. He has been training very hard. I had a chat with him, just some hours back, and I have to say, it feels good when you see Shardul Thakur get this opportunity. Your thoughts, in fact, when you were there, when he called. So your thoughts, you want this guy to do well.
You absolutely do. And, he's a gem of a person as well. But I love that this IPL is already becoming such an impactful human side of, bringing on the human side of the sport. And it's been about comebacks. It's been about unearthing new talent. We saw Vignesh Puthur. We saw an Ishan Kishan make a comeback. And now it's time for Shardul Thakur to come in. And, not being sold in that IPL auction, I know that must have stung him. And, to any player. And look at how he's been performing in the Ranji Trophy as well. Yes, it's a different format, but what carries is confidence. And I think he'll be coming into the IPL very, very confident. And having this new door opened up, he'll be, very motivated to do well and possibly keep his keep his place in the team. But we see how impactful he's always been. He is expensive at times, but he also gets you very, very important breakthroughs, and that's what the biggest quality about Shardul Thakur is. And of course, he's going to make that batting lineup deeper as well. So a lot of hopes pinned on Shardul Thakur at this point from me.
Bharat, a lot of people are asking about the LSG bowling. Priyanshu, the point that they said Sunrisers might get 300, etc. But again, there is a Ravi Bishnoi, there is a Shamar Joseph, there is a Shardul Thakur. If Matthew Bridske plays, they've got options. There's that Siddharth guy who is pretty decent. Last year also bowled reasonably well. It's not that bad. I mean, when Akash Deep and Mohsin Khan and Mayank Yadav and you then tend to think Mitchell Marsh is not going to bowl. All of a sudden, 5 frontline bowlers not there. Akash Deep 1, Mohsin 2, Mayank 3. What is that other fellow's name? Avesh Khan 4,
Avesh Khan.
Marsh 5. So 5 frontliners not there. Even after that, they put together a competitive unit. Bharat Ramraj, Lucknow bowling, is that going to be a letdown, or can they come up? Like Rohit Juglan said, they've got a Prince Yadav, they've got some people. Last year, Yash Thakur got a fifer in one of the matches, if you remember. They've been there, done that, these fellows, Bharat Ramraj.
Yeah, one of the younger bowlers has to fire. See, Prince Yadav is someone whose action is a little bit like our own Karnataka speedster, Prasidh Krishna, that is in terms of his action. That is how I think he gets that little bit of pace, little bit of nip. Yeah, if he gets his control right, he might surprise the batter with his deceptive pace. And someone like Hunger Gaker, I guess the problem with him is his career has kind of gone on a downward slide. Maybe this is the season where he can make a comeback, because even if you look at his listed T20 performances, he was struggling against Sikkim, he was struggling against Meghalaya. So these are not big teams in domestic cricket. So maybe this is the season with all those players injured. It's time for Hunger Gaker to again go on an upward curve. So yeah, one of the younger bowlers, or even for the matter, Siddharth, is someone I think his quickest delivery can bowl an arm ball at 118 kilometers per hour. That's a lot of speed when you think of the arm ball. So one of these youngsters has to come good, and Zahid Khan also has been working a lot. I saw with Shamar Joseph, he has had problems with his wrist. Obviously, someone who came from nowhere to the West Indies side. So in terms of skills, he's trying to improve. He has had his problems with wrist position, and Zahid Khan definitely was working with him recently. That's what I saw. So maybe one of these bowlers will come good. It is an opportunity for them. Maybe from Indian perspective, I'm looking at someone like Prince, because I think he's deceptively fast and could surprise a batter or two.
Shubhan, if I turn our gaze to Delhi, a new coaching setup, completely new management. Obviously, Kiran Grandi in charge, Hemang Badani, Venugopal Rao. For them also, it's a new beginning. Underwhelming season. Faf du Plessis and possibly, obviously, Jake Fraser-Magurk at the start without KL Rahul. Even if KL Rahul is there, there is a chance that he might just bat in the middle order. And like you said, there is some firepower out there. But that middle order kind of, Tristan Stubbs, yes, but otherwise kind of tapers down for me. The bowling is good. A Kuldeep Yadav and Akshar Patel, a Mitchell Starc. But that middle order and the finish problem might just be an issue for Delhi. Your thoughts, Shubhan Chakraborty?
I think they will depend a lot on Ashutosh Sharma to finish games off for them. Had a really good last season, but this will be his real test, because the other teams will come with better preparation against him with his shots. You have seen how they have when a player clicks in the IPL, the next season is the real challenge for any player, be it a batter or a bowler. For Ashutosh Sharma, this will be his real test this time around. And if you see that batting lineup, yes, Jake Fraser-Magurk is an explosive batter, but can he really fire? Faf du Plessis, same. Can he bat with the same tempo? The likes of Abhishek Sharma, Travis Head have set the template in. So for Faf du Plessis also, this will be a big challenge, whether he can really go hammer and tongs from the word go. Abhishek Porel again had a very mediocre domestic season for Bengal. So yes, he has been given a lot of chances, but again, IPL is a different ball game altogether. So if he clicks, then we know he's a really explosive batter. But again, it won't be easy for Abhishek Porel to come in and just fire all cylinders. And it will be important at which position he bats in. When Saurabh Ganguly was there in that DC dugout, he gave him that opportunity to bat at number three, knowing his talent. But whether the new management, Hemang Badani and all, will give him that same kind of exposure, that remains to be seen. And that batting unit, they will depend a lot on Akshar Patel to fire in, because that's a thin batting unit. They don't bat deep. So Akshar Patel, yes, he has done really, really well in international circuit for DC in the past seasons. But again, Akshar Patel at five, at six, can he finish games regularly for them along with Ashutosh Sharma? Ashutosh and Akshar, these two A's will be very important. But after that, it is a very thin lineup. Mitchell Stark, Mukesh Kumar, and Natarajan. So they bat till number seven. But they have, even if you look at the bench, Tristan Stubbs will be a very, very crucial player. If he does not fire, then their batting unit will be in tatters. And now, whether Abhishek Purel bats at three, Tristan Stubbs bat at three, that's a call that they will have to take. Tristan Stubbs up in the order, give him maximum deliveries. If I was there in that DC camp, I would give Tristan Stubbs that batting number three position and ask him to play long innings. But apart from that, their batting unit looks a bit thin. They have a Donovan Pereira. Again,
There are
Samir
some
Rizvi is there.
also.
Samir Rizvi is there. Donovan Pereira is there. But again, these are all impact players. Donovan Pereira, you'll have to play three overseas if you want to bring in a Donovan Pereira. Samir Rizvi, yes, is a natural impact player option. But again, batting looks a bit thin there.
Shomik, if I can come to leadership, I will go to Rohit also, both of you. If you take a look so far, Ajinkya Rahane, captain fired. Rajat Patidar, captain fired. Sanju Samson, captain fired. Pat Cummins, obviously, as a captain, he has unearthed. Pat Cummins has given India and Abhishek Sharma, and now Ishan Kishan as well. Under him, people have flowered. And Hyderabad Sunrisers redefined the template. It is also about leadership here.
Nitish
And if
Reddy,
you, pardon me?
Nitish Reddy under Pat
Nitish Reddy,
Cummins.
absolutely under Pat Cummins, he has flowered. So Ishan Kishan, Nitish Reddy, Abhishek Sharma, three players there. If I take leadership, set it up for me. Two real interesting choices. Rishabh Pant, who wants to prove himself, so much coming with him, and Akshar Patel, who's actually done very well at the international level, got India vice captaincy, not maybe a brand, but nonetheless a very, very good cricketer. So Rishabh Pant versus Akshar Patel, two very good friends also. Shomik Chakraborty set that up before I go to Rohit Juglan.
See, Akshat Patel has captaincy experience and he has captained Gujarat in domestic cricket. Um, and he has led them well. And there is a reason why he has been elevated to India T20I vice captaincy. As far as Rishabh Pant's captaincy is concerned, we don't know much yet, although he captained Delhi Capitals, but we don't know much yet. This is a fresh beginning for him. And this is where, this is now his team. Delhi Capitals were not his team. This is now his team. When you are going to a team for 27 crore and you are the cherry on the top, then it is going to be his team. What is his thought process? This season, maybe this game will give us a glimpse. But in terms of, I think Delhi Capitals has a better leadership group, given that Faf du Plessis is the vice captain, and you see other players also. You see there are, Mitchell Stark, who can be a leader in that dressing room. So from that point of view, I think maybe just maybe Delhi Capitals have a better leadership group. At the same time, Lucknow Super Giants have Nicholas Pooran also. Nicholas Pooran were very much in the race to lead Lucknow Super Giants before the management decided that Rishabh Pant will be their captain. But once again,
David Miller has also led South Africa in a
David,
few
David,
games, if I'm
David
not
Miller is also there. So from that point of view, at the end of the day, these days we see a different trend in the IPL, where I mean you see Chennai Super Kings, for example, Chennai Super Kings, where captain is everything. De facto captain, MS Dhoni, he runs the show. But there are teams where the coach is all important. Captain is there, but the inputs is coming from the dugout. So we see two patterns. IPL has given us two clear patterns. You see Royal Challenges Bangalore, Rajat Patidar goes out for the coin toss, but even that game, Virat Kohli was leading basically. Virat Kohli was setting the field, everything, and the inputs obviously was coming from the dugout. So there are two clear patterns. Which pattern these two teams will follow? Whether Akshar would be in command, I expect Rishabh to be completely in command in as far as Lucknow Super Giants is concerned. It's a very intriguing choice.
Again, well said, but this is a good question. I want Rohit Juglan to answer that, and with leadership that, feel Ashwin says feel for Pant. He got a weak bowling attack, difficult job. If team fails, it can impact his potential as a future captain of India. Rohit, these things happen. If you go in with and it's not his fault or anyone's fault. They picked a really good bowling unit. All of a sudden, they've got 4-5 injuries. आप ये sport में हो सकता है, कुछ कर नहीं सकते हो. But this is also a challenge. अगर आप ये lineup लेकर आपने deliver कर दिया, then people will say, look, this is a team which had a depleted attack, and Rishabh Pant as captain led from the front and made a difference to this attack. Rohit Juglan?
वो तो सबसे ऊपर की चीज हो जाएगी अगर इस स्क्वाड से भी ऋषभ पंत जो है वो बिल्कुल एकदम स्मूथ स्टार्ट कर लेते हैं. बट मेरे हिसाब से जो भी लोग whoever will write means about Rishabh Pant's captaincy, they'll definitely bring this in notice that yes, उनके पास एक ऐसा bowling attack था जो फर्स्ट चॉइस नहीं था, मे बी शायद सेकंड चॉइस भी ना हो, बिकॉज 1-2 बॉलर्स की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं हम, 4-5 बॉलर्स की बात कर रहे हैं. एक पूरी तरीके से बाहर हो चुका है, एक 7 मैचेस के बाद मिलेगा, 2-3 मैचेस के बाद मिलेंगे. So in IPL it's all about the starting momentum कि आपका momentum कैसा बन रहा है. It's all about कि आप start कैसे कर रहे हो टूर्नामेंट. So for me I think लिखने वाले फिर ये भी जरूर लिखेंगे कि वो क्या है जो उनको इस पूरे के पूरे सीजन में पीछे करता है. बट मुझे फिर भी लगता है कि ऋषभ पंत द मैन मैनेजर पे मुझे कभी भी शक नहीं है. ऋषभ पंत जो टैक्टिक्स डेवलप करेगा, ऋषभ पंत जो कॉल्स लेगा कि भाई कौन सा बॉलर किधर लेकर आना है और किस बॉलर को कैसे मूव करना है, मुझे वो देखना है ऋषभ पंत के साथ. मैंने बहुत सुना है उनके मैन मैनेजमेंट के बारे में, बहुत प्लेयर्स ऑफ द रिकॉर्ड बताते हैं कि कैसे ऋषभ बहुत कॉन्फिडेंस देता है, बुरे टाइम पे भी किस तरीके से सपोर्ट पड़ता है, मार पड़ रही हो तो भी आप उसका कॉन्फिडेंस वो नीचे नहीं जाने देता है बॉलर्स का. तो एज अ मैन मैनेजर, एज समवन जो टीम को एक सूत्र में पिरो सकता है, ऋषभ पंत इज फैंटास्टिक. बट मैंने कई बार डीसी में देखा है. अब डीसी में क्या होता था, जब हम ये चीजें देखते थे तो हम सोचते थे ये पॉन्टिंग का कॉल है कि पंत का कॉल है, तो खुद में एक कंफ्यूज करने वाली चीज है. नाउ यू हैव अ स्ट्रेट लिटमस टेस्ट, जैसे आप बोल सकते हो कि अब जो कुछ भी होगा वो ऋषभ पंत का होगा. तो ऋषभ पंत अगर वो करने में कामयाब होते हैं तो आई थिंक फिर कोई दिक्कत नहीं है उनके नाम को लेकर के कि हमें ये बोलना है कि वो डिफिकल्ट जॉब था या क्या था. ये सबको पता है कि इस बार उनके पास वो फर्स्ट चॉइस या सेकंड चॉइस बॉलिंग अटैक नहीं है, लेकिन उसी हिसाब से उनको भी जज किया जाएगा. मेरे हिसाब से वो लोग फिर बेकार में लिखेंगे और उनकी बात का जवाब भी क्यों देना है जो लोग ये लिखेंगे कि नहीं खराब कप्तान है. हाँ, अगर आपको कुछ टैक्टिकल ब्लंडर्स लग रहे होंगे जो कि बॉलर्स से जुड़े हुए नहीं है तो आप वो भी बोलोगे कि ये गलती करी है ऋषभ पंत ने यहाँ पे. लेकिन अगर आपको साफ तौर पर नजर आ रहा है कि रन ही इतने पड़ जा रहे हैं कि भाई बैटिंग यूनिट भी क्या करेगी, अगर आप हर मैच में 250 रन खाओगे तो फिर थोड़ी ऋषभ पंत कैप्टन सवाल के घेरे में आएगा. हाँ, अगर आप 180 बना के भी हार जा रहे हो बार बार, देन इट विल बी अ क्वेश्चन कि भाई क्या हो रहा है. सो बहुत इसको जांचने के लिए कोई आपको किसी लेबोरेटरी में लेकर नहीं जाना है कि भाई वहां जाके आप अकेले में पता करोगे. ये सबके सामने होगा जो भी होगा.
I think again interesting point about leadership there. Before I go to Gargi on the middle order, Bharat Ramraj for Delhi, big call. KL Rahul at the top or not at the top? KL Rahul in the middle order in T20 cricket. You agree with that call? Maybe number 3, number 4. Do you want to start with a Duplessis and a Jake Fraser-Magag? Obviously, Fraser-Magag gets going, he can destroy any team. But again, for him also, second season not going to be as kind of novel as the first because teams have worked him out. So Jake Fraser-Magag will also find it more difficult despite his heroics in the trial games. Bharat Ramraj?
Yeah, see, KL Rahul, I guess he has to bat somewhere in the top order only. If not, I agree. Opening he can't play because obviously Fraser-Magag is there. Have to play, is there. Maybe at number 3 or on those lines because currently spin game is not good. We have seen it. He's someone who takes a little bit of time against spinners. So from that perspective, him batting at 4 or 5, I guess it would get a little bit difficult for him. So somewhere he has to, I guess, bat in the top 3. So ideal position would be number 3 in this particular lineup. And Fraser-Magag is someone, I think, if you give a flat pitch, he will still, I think, score a lot of runs. Someone doesn't have much footwork, but yes, great hand-eye coordination. I talked with his coach as well last year, and that's the same thing he said. He has great hand-eye coordination. Even in the couple of practice sessions I was watching, Delhi Capitals practice sessions, and he was just standing there, stand and deliver kind of player. Every time the ball was in the slot, it was just going out of that ground. So Jake Fraser Mager, I think he will still be good, but again on flat pitches. But if there's a little bit in the track, then I think he will struggle. So looking at the lineup, I would say Rahul has to bat in the top three, maybe at number three, because spin game it takes a little more time against the spinners.
This is from Shongbit Dr. Bishash. Gargi, take this: before Pant aspires to be the Indian captain or whatever, concentrate on cementing his place, because Jurel is equally talented as a complete batter. Why only Jurel? You had a Samson, you had an Ishan, you had even Jitesh Sharma
Even
played,
Jitesh, yeah.
you just mentioned. So the wicket keeping race, like we spoke about. But will Pant think about any of this now? Will Pant think India? Because if you think too far ahead, as we've already heard of Venkatesh Iyer talk about that with us, we've heard of Mohammad Siraj. We will play, by the way, we'll tease that interview at the end of the show. We have heard people say, let's stay in the present. You take too far ahead, you think too far ahead, it backfires. Your thoughts? Where does Rishabh Pant mentally kind of position himself at the moment?
I think Rishabh Pant at this point is so completely sure of himself. He looks like it. He does the job well. But when I think from an Indian management perspective, what the point here is, the kind of X factor that Rishabh Pant brings with his batting, I think that sort of puts him ahead in the race. Yes, Sanju Samson, Dhruv Jurel, Ishan Kishan, and Jitesh Sharma also puts some really good finishing touches to any game. But what Rishabh Pant does is very, very special. And I think that sort of makes you okay with compromising on the quality of the wicket keeping a little bit. That's what my personal perspective there is, because Rishabh Pant single-handedly possesses the quality to change games, to turn games around on its head, and that quality might not be there as much in the other batters when we look at the whole race, when we look at the other contenders, and that's what puts him ahead at this point. And when we talk about mental temperament, I think Rishabh Pant is now a veteran enough to know what he needs to do. I think he'll take it one game at a time.
Asim Hans, will price tag weigh him down? Boriada, what are your overseas players? Krishnendu Pant, Aga Sara keeper, Age Piche keeper rahega, etc. Any update on Tamim Iqbal? All of our prayers are for Tamim Iqbal. All of our prayers, our thoughts are for Tamim Iqbal. This was a shocker when Borshan Kobir first mentioned it to us. We just hope the angio or whatever, he's under hospital care. All of us wish he gets back healthy, hearty, and fully there. And this was a real shock to know about Tamim Iqbal. Let's quickly take closing comments. Can you get that thing ready? Okay, let's quickly take closing comments in the last 10 odd minutes of the show. Shubhan Chakraborty, Rishabh Pant, do you want to see him at the top as opener? Do you want to see something different from Rishabh Pant? And your predictions for Lucknow versus Delhi?
I think I would be interested to see Rishabh Pant open. I've been saying it that his best position in T20 format, where last season it was a decent season for Rishabh Pant, but he can unlock his complete potential as an opener with power play restrictions. If he can get going, that will really boost his confidence. T20 and ODI cricket is not like Test cricket where you will have restricted field for throughout the day, and that is where Rishabh has struggled to get going sometimes, and that was the reason his place in ODIs and T20Is for India. He got dropped actually before his accident that I'm talking about, and since then, yes, he was part of the T20 World Cup, but had a decent start, but could not really finish it really strongly. So Rishabh Pant, the T20 player, has so far not unlocked his potential, and what Shongbit also asked about Jurel, I think he's absolutely right. The other players with far more explosive knocks in recent times, they can really unsettle Rishabh's place in, or even put him down in the pecking order in the T20I scheme of things for India. So not only Jurel, as you said, Ishan and all, they are there. Jitesh, I will still not count him so strongly because of his age. He's 30 plus now. And Jurel and these guys are pretty young. Ishan is also still there in that same age bracket as Pant. So uh, Rishabh will have to bat at the top of the order and capitalize those field restrictions, and really give LSG a start that they want. Matthew Britske is another option, as I said. If Britske and Pant open the innings, then they can really have a very strong two openers for LSG.
Bharat, before I
Yeah,
go to Rohit and Shomik.
I'll just add a point to what he said about Rishabh Pant. The thing with Rishabh Pant in T20 cricket is bowlers from over the wicket tend to bowl wide off when the field is spread, and he doesn't have. I'm not saying he doesn't have shots through the offside, but through certain areas like square of the wicket, maybe covers, it tends to just get a single or two. So that is where I think opponents tend to restrict Rishabh Pant's scoring areas in T20 cricket. So from that perspective, I definitely agree he has to bat somewhere in the top order, if not at number 3, maybe as an opener itself. Because then with field restrictions around, he can play the shots. And I think that is where Sanju Samson, Ishan Kishan and others are maybe at least at present they're a level ahead of Rishabh Pant in T20 cricket, because they can play the big shots and there are more scoring areas for them in this particular format. As we could see, Sanju Samson has 3 or 4 hundreds over 8 matches, last 8 matches, though he failed in the series against England. So yeah, from that perspective, definitely have Rishabh Pant opening. But as far as this match is concerned, one has to give DC. I think they're the fancied opponent and they have the upper hand here, just because LSG's bowling attack is pretty much depleted. Though I expect 1 or 2 of their younger bowlers to come good.
Shomik, I'll close with Rohit and Gargi.
See, as far as Rishabh Pant is concerned, uh, I don't see him matching someone like in terms of playing explosive cricket, in terms of as far as explosive batting is concerned. I don't see him matching someone like Sanju Samson or Ishan Kishan. But what he has, others don't. That is the ability to innovate. The way Rishabh Pant can innovate, others don't. And he is a very smart cricketer. He is a very intelligent cricketer. So, from that point of view, as far as his batting order is concerned, I don't see him opening the innings. I think he will bat at number 3. Um, as regards today's game, it's very difficult to predict a winner, in the sense you never know in T20 cricket. Um, Lucknow, Lucknow on paper might not have that kind of a bowling strength, all right, but they can bat out their opposition. They can outbat their opposition. So they have that wherewithal. So from that point of view, it is very difficult to pick today's game's winner. I will keep it at 50-50.
Mute.
रोहित, वीवी बोल रहा है 3 करोड़ जीतने के बाद 20 रुपया देगा.
20%.
20 रुपए नहीं, 20 टका पर 20%.
अच्छा, 20% मतलब 20%. हम लोग बंगाली में टाका बोलते हैं 20 रुपया. अच्छा चलो, वो समझा नहीं मैं. भाई तुम 3 करोड़ जीतने से 20% क्यों दोगे? मुझे 90% दो, तब बोलूंगा टीम. एनीवे, तुम 10% लोगे, वो टैक्स जो वो तुम्हारा. एनीवे रोहित, फाइनल थॉट्स.
अच्छा, इसका जवाब देना है क्या या नहीं देना?
नहीं.
दे दो, क्या पता लग जाए उसका 3 करोड़ तो 20% आ जाएगा.
तुम लगा के रेप स्पोर्ट्स में इन्वेस्ट कर दो.
नहीं, मतलब ठीक है. निकोलस पूरन को बना लो, मेरी सुनो तो निकोलस पूरन को बना लो आज कैप्टन. कमिंग टू द कैप्टन्स क्वेश्चन, बोले क्या सवाल है? वही जो जिसका जवाब सब दे रहे हैं.
मैंने सेट इट अप, but you're so are you going with the 50-50? Are you going with slightly ahead Lucknow, Delhi? How do you kind of rate this? Because this is an important match for Rishabh Pant, the captain. Will he open? Do you think he can come up the order? How do you kind of see it?
वो क्या करते हैं वो तो मैं नहीं जानता हूं, लेकिन मैं ये चाहता हूं कि मैं उनको ओपन करते हुए देखना चाहता हूं, क्योंकि ये एक बहुत ही अच्छी अपॉर्चुनिटी है. कोई बैगेज नहीं है पुरानी फ्रेंचाइजीज का, पुरानी हार का. एक नई शुरुआत है. मिडिल ऑर्डर अच्छा है आपका. आप आयुष बडोनी के साथ भी क्या करना चाहते हो, मैं वो भी देखना चाहता हूं, बिकॉज डोमेस्टिक क्रिकेट में वो मतलब नंबर 3 उसको बहुत सूट करता है. तो अगर आप आयुष बडोनी को ऊपर लेकर आना चाहते हो, यू हैव आयुष बडोनी देयर, यू हैव निकोलस पूरन देयर, फिर आपके पास डेविड मिलर भी है, फिर आप इंपैक्ट सब के तौर पर प्लेयर्स को यूज कर सकते हो. तो प्लेयर्स आपके पास काफी अच्छे हैं, तो अगर आप ओपन करना भी चाहते हो तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं होनी चाहिए। बट मैं सही मायनों में बॉलर्स को देखना चाहता हूँ कि जो बॉलर्स फर्स्ट चॉइस बॉलर्स की जगह पर आए हैं, चाहे वो प्रिंस यादव खेले या फिर कोई भी और एक 23-24 साल का लड़का और है उनके पास जो लेग स्पिनर है, और उसको भी रहेगा। हाँ, उसको भी देखना इंपॉर्टेंट रहेगा क्योंकि उसकी भी काफी रेपुटेशन सुनी है मैंने। बट लेट्स सी कि किस तरीके से होता है। बट मैं फिर भी देख रहा हूँ, मैं इसे इतना वन साइडेड नहीं बता रहा हूँ।
शाहबाज भी है, शाहबाज की बात इतनी कोई कर नहीं रहा है, शाहबाज भी यूटिलिटी हो सकता है।
सिद्धार्थ भी, सिद्धार्थ को विराट कोहली का विकेट लेने के लिए कहा था जस्टिन लांगर ने, और उन्होंने विराट कोहली का विकेट लेके दे दिया था शुरुआत में। फिर आपके पास रवि बिश्नोई भी है। मैं लेकिन मान रहा हूं कि ये क्लोज मुकाबला होगा, और मुझे लग रहा है एलएसजी निकाल लेगी इस मुकाबले को। एलएसजी विल विन दिस, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है। दिल्ली कैपिटल्स ठीक है, ऑन पेपर ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग टीम है, बट इट्स ऑल अबाउट एग्जीक्यूशन। सो मेरे हिसाब से लखनऊ जीत रही है ये गेम।
Big prediction coming from Rohit Jugla, and I'll close with you, Gargi. He says Lucknow jeet raha hai ye game. Sanjeev Goenka ko bhej denge. He'll feel good at the start of the game. I mean, clearly he will also want a big season, as with every owner. But before we close with the Nicholas Pooran song, your final thoughts?
No, I think when I look at this context, I still see LSG ahead of Delhi Capitals. I think when we look at a very, very no, even with the depleted, bowling lineup there, I think LSG have far better quality side when it comes to the batting, and with the IPL, with the kind of surfaces that we've seen at Vizag, I think these batters could really make an impact.
Okay, and can we close with Nicholas Pooran singing that song, please?
Of course we can.
What has taught you?
Is it a Bhojpuri song this time?
To who you are now, the top potential of a top franchise.
I mean, God is great. I see things in a different light. I try to turn all the negatives into positive as much as I could. But one thing that always stood for me, and I made this decision when I got into my accident. I said one thing, that no matter what happens in the next few months or the next few years, nothing is going to stop me from achieving my dream, which is to be the best version of myself and be one of the best cricketers of this generation. But what life has taught me is that nothing is guaranteed. Right? Nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. And whilst we may hear that, you really hit rock bottom, and then you go through life, and then after a while, you really get to understand that tomorrow is not guaranteed. So if tomorrow is not guaranteed, why not give 100% every single day? Everything happens in life for a reason. And one thing I have learned is that you don't question it. You just learn from it and see the positive.
This was not the song. This was the clip from our interview. But he does sing very well. I mean, he did sing for us, and we had put out the song separately as well. But Nicholas Pooran, I love the dialogue, which was and this was a very.
We have it.
You have it now? Okay,
Yes.
play it. If you've got it, play it. You've got it, play it. Bollywood songs, you just said. If you sing, why don't you entertain us, both of us for a change? I mean, we are equivalent of 1 million viewers.
I see, that's the problem. So if I sing for you, then everyone is gonna make me a meme.
Come on.
Let me tell you what am I listening to. So I know a lot of songs. So the first one comes to my head, I'll sing it. Like if I hear it, I'll just So let me just sing one. Atere sanga yara. Okay, I get 3 lines, right? Andi hati hai. Okay, see, not too bad, not too good either.
Pretty good, I would say.
Shashwat, add to that.
Oh no, if I sing, no one's going to watch your show.
Fun.
There's Nicholas Pooran and Shashwat Goenka. We had a lot of fun. But to close out, and I asked him about his sixes. He said, if I hit 3 consecutive sixes, then I want to look at the bowler's eyes. I love to see the bowler then, because there is fear. And that's what you see with this new generation of T20 batters. A Jake Fraser-Magak, a Nicholas Pooran, a Travis Head, an Ishan Kishan, an Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, Dhruv Jurel. Who knows? Will we see that tonight or not? Shomik Chakraborty, Bharat Ramraj, Rohit Juglan, Shubhayan, Gargi, and everyone watching. Lucknow versus Delhi tonight. Big game for every player out there. More so for a Rishabh Pant. And of course for a Akshar Patel and KL Rahul. Thanks very much for watching. We will be back at 6:30 leading into the toss with our playing 11s. Thanks so much. Join us in 45 minutes.